Phil, thanks for your time. I can see it's quite late at night there, but there's still plenty of people attending the memorial site for victims of the attacks.
Yes, I was going to speak very quietly here because that is the atmosphere. We're outside Oslo's main cathedral. As you can see, there are hundreds of people here in total silence, contemplating, comforting one another for what has been a massive shock to the whole nation. And they've come here and joined together. There are candles being lit, there are flowers being laid constantly, and it grows ever larger in the forecourt by the side of the church here. So this is how these people here are coping all over the country. There are similar sorts of activities as people try to come to terms, and at least try to come together to give each other some sort of comfort over what has been an enormous trauma for individuals and for the nation as a whole.
Now, Phil, the 32-year-old man arrested by police has been described as a fundamentalist Christian with far-right political views.
Yes, that's what the police have been saying. If you look on his Facebook, that's his description as a Christian with conservative views. Now, of course, that says nothing of what he was going to do, apparently going to do. But yes, he's been identified by others as having those views. Clearly, by definition, he was an extremist, and clearly he had extreme views and perhaps unbalanced, obviously unbalanced views. But the damage he's wreaked has been really shocking. I've been up to a small community by the island today, where some of the survivors and the parents, families of those that have died, and those that are still hoping that perhaps somehow their loved ones have survived, have gathered at this particular hotel. And some of the people that spoke to us there, just terrible stories of one, for example, that sticks in my mind. That one man told me, a young man of 22, said that he was hiding in a cave. There was a shot rang out, it just missed him, and then he could hear someone calling out, and there was a man in a police uniform saying, "It's okay, I'm here, we're okay, come out," and it was him. And some people thought the police had come to rescue them, and as they came out, he gunned them down. Another story of a young woman, 16 years old, who was swimming out from the island trying to get away along with so many others. Now, not only had he shot people in the water as they swam, but as she clambered aboard the boat, the rescue boat, locals with boats came to help. They too came under fire. So really there was no target was left. And clearly he had about an hour and a half, apparently. Now, we thought before about an hour and a half on that island, allowed to do whatever he wanted, because, of course, the police in Oslo had a massive blast right here in the centre of town. They had what they would have assumed was the biggest terrorist attack that they'd ever seen, and could not have guessed of the carnage that were to follow. And, in a sense, you can almost look at the bomb blast here as a diversion for what was perhaps his real intent, was to kill as many people as possible at that youth camp on the island.
Now, Phil, the gunman has been named by local media as Anders Behring Breivik, but police are still holding off on officially confirming his identity.
Yes, they are, and but it's all but, because we've had that name has been splashed about the media almost within hours of the attack. It was clear that something had leaked from the police, and perhaps others had suspicions about this person before. But what we do know is a little bit more about him, that in May he managed to purchase 6 tonnes of fertiliser, which is the precursor of ammonium nitrate, which is often used for these sort of crude sort of bombs that can cause so much carnage as what happened here. Now, police are concerned because about 2 tonnes of that are still unaccounted for, and they are worried that there could be other bombs somewhere else. Now, they do say that there are still unexploded devices within the city, within the restricted zone, still now, and also bodies that haven't been recovered because the structural integrity of the buildings is so poor that it's simply too dangerous to go in and remove them. So It's still far from clear exactly what is happening right in that core centre. In the outer perimeter, that has been very much relaxed. You are seeing very many more people in the streets tonight. Some of the shops are open, some of the bars are open. People are attempting to get back to normal, but it isn't normal, of course. This dark cloud is hanging over everyone. The atmosphere, as you can see behind me here, is one of quiet contemplation. There's no hysteria here. People are quietly going about their own way of grieving, and they've come together here to seek the solace of each other and give some sort of community feel and some sort of community place that they can come together and grieve together for what has been a terrible shock to the whole nation.
And Phil, Norwegian police have also made a second arrest, but it's meant to be unrelated.
Yes, this is rather peculiar arrest of a 16, 17-year-old boy that was found had apparently been on the island carrying a knife. Now, asked when, why are you carrying a knife? He said, because there are many strange people here. Well, you can be forgiven for saying very many strange and terrible events, and goodness knows what that would do to anyone's mind. It certainly traumatised everyone involved in it. But it does appear that that is completely unrelated. There has been a lot of speculation of a second gunman, but really so far no clear indications that that really is the case. Just speculation at the moment, but obviously police still have a very open mind. But at this point now, it does appear this is the work of a single deranged mind, somebody that methodically planned the execution of as many people as he possibly could.
Okay, Philip Williams in Oslo, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you.